Let's talk about how the traditional Chinese medicine and the herbals meet the modern age. So a few words about our company. May I introduce Mr. Xu Fei. Xu Fei is my Chinese colleague. He's based in Paris with me, and is the director of the China studies. He's going to be the main speaker of today, of course. So our company is a very small company based in France, created in 2003, which is very particular because we are very unique. We have a very unique positioning because from France, we do monitor and look at all the Asian markets. So it means that we look at the products on the market, we look at what's on the shelves, we collect the product in situ. We do see how the trends are coming up and down. We provide consumers understanding. We support new product development and so on, creativity meeting. And the idea is to inform some of our customers about how is the market here, how the consumers, what is whitening, what is a cosmetic water, in order for them to better understand the market, but also to inspire them. Because there is a big Asian wave now coming to all the world about the ingredients, the textures, the routine. So it's all about inspiring. To do this job, of course, as I said, my team is Asian, all fully Asian people. And of course, we travel. I'm here every 2 weeks, and we are here like every 2 or 3 weeks to see really what's here, to meet the consumer, to go to the stores, to meet the bloggers, to do focus group, to really see and feel how the products are going up and down, because you know it's quite difficult to get exact figures of the market. So I just want to stress you that the results of our analysis and presentation that we're going to provide are based on qualitative market studies. We don't do figures. We are too small. We do it really on a qualitative market level, from products, from retailers, from advertisement campaign, from website. And to do this, we do a daily follow-up of everything coming up. We issue weekly innovation news, which means every week we track through the press, through the blog, through the market, what's really up in order to see where the movements of the cosmetic world is going to. So we are very unique. It's a very specific world. It's a lot of work, but we know the products, we know what we are talking about, and then we have an eye on everything and every concept which are moving on. That's the reason why today we are going to talk to you about the traditional medicine, how we see it moving on, how we see the products coming on the market, what is new, what is relevant, maybe what's going to be next. So a few words, first of all, on what is the traditional Chinese medicine. I'm not going to go deeply in the details because anyway, it's going to be too long and that's not the purpose. But it's more than 5,000 history. This is first things which is very important. Second things, it's all about prevention and treatment. This is also very important. Thinking about cosmetics, the idea of you prevent even more than you treat. Of course, you have basic principles like the yin and the yang, the 5 movements, the meridian system that you all know, and very specific diagnostic methods, which are now also influencing very much the way to promote skincare products based on traditional Chinese medicine to the consumers. It's all about looking, smelling, listening, inquiring, and of course, palpation. Of course, when we talk about traditional Chinese medicine, we all know about the acupuncture. This is maybe the #1 approach that we know in terms of treatment. We know also about the Qigong, so important, the gyms, to have the perfect balance of the body and the mind. We know also about the massage, like the gua sha, which is a sliding massage with the gua sha device, or the tuina, which is much more with the hands and which gives a lot of strength to the body. Maybe we know less the fire cupping, because it is also very strong and something we are not so much convinced about in Europe, or we lost about this tradition. But 2 aspects we tend to forget is that it is also the food therapy is one of the principles of the Chinese medicine. So you eat your ingredients, and these ingredients, it's what makes you healthy, and if you are healthy, then you will be beautiful. So these edible ingredients are basically the ingredients that you will find in the cosmetics products too, with this idea that it is an in and out. And it is based, of course, on the Chinese herbal medicine. So among these ingredients, a lot are going to be eaten in soup, in water, in decoction, and then to be also applied on the skin. Regarding this food therapy approach, which is very much on this idea of balance and harmony inside your body, not only because of the ingredients, but also of the flavors, of the energy it will bring, all the movement that will come in your metabolism, you have 4 key main dishes. The rice porridge that you find at all the restaurants now, the congee actually, the soup, the tea. You've seen so many, all the Chinese people walking around with the tea, but also the alcohol, which is also very much combined with the herbals. Talking about the medicines and the herbals, you have more than 11,000 plants or extract, because it can be also animals that has been registered in a long history, but maybe just few thousand has been yet used. There is so many yet to be explored and discovered. All these ingredients are not only singly used, they can be combined together in order to create this good balance and interaction. And this is also very important. This is also why you see the doctors and why you go to the drugstore to get the medicine, to have all these ideal measurement of 1 + 1 + 1. And this is the balance that will recreate all this necessity approach in terms of medicine. And also, it's not only the flowers, of course, you know that. It's going to be the leaves, it's going to be the root, it's going to be the leaf, plus not only the plants, some also animals and also minerals extract. Already on the market, you can see that more and more brands are visible promoting those products. And what is interesting is that today we are going mainly to talk about skincare. But it's also hair care, it's also makeup, it's also men's. You have more and more lines coming up on the market. The most famous one coming from the, I would say more mass market, is going to be InnoHerb. Then it's going to be Bawang, very famous for the hair treatment. More prestigious, you have Herbalist, which is already now sold in Paris. There is a store at Avenue de l'Opéra. And from L'Oréal Group, the Yushi brand, which is also very strong in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. But also, some international players have started launching new brands inspired from traditional Chinese medicine only in China. This is also quite interesting because the foreigners are boosting this business. So 3 lines that you maybe have heard about. The Bizenist from Kosei. Kosei is a Japanese group, and they have this Bizenist Chinese brand, which actually at our office we like very much. As you can see, all of them has been launched in 2012. So this is the year where Chinese medicine really became visible. The Bizenist line, which is on the left side of the screen, is based on the soup therapy. As you can see, it's very obvious. You have the spoon, you have the bowls, like if it was soup, and it's all about food therapy based on Ganoderma, Jujuba, Tremella, white fungus, and so on. Then we've heard a lot, but it didn't came up so extended, but maybe we can have some discussion about it, about Osiao from Estée Lauder, up to now just only distributed in Hong Kong. Also launched in 2012, which is an 8-lash rose radiance focusing on the anti-aging, using cordyceps, rhodiola, and Ganoderma. And also, becoming more and more famous, Énergie de Vie by Lancôme, which was dedicated to China, but now expanding all over the world, which was, again, launched in 2012, which is focusing on early aging symptoms. If you come to listen to our last conference on Thursday, we'll talk about the aging in China. So this idea of the early aging is very important. And it's based, again, on rhodiola, gentian, and wild yam. And now, more and more, as I was mentioning, it's going into the other markets, including Europe and US. So yes, traditional Chinese and traditional herbals are more and more popular in the cosmetic world First of all, because they have this idea of food-based, in and out, which makes things so obvious. If you have a good food, you have a good health. And this is also very interesting for the other part of the world. Secondly, because it has the images of safety of herbals. You know, in China, due to the pollution troubles, all the health issue is very, very important. And using herbals give really the image of something which is safe because it has a long, long history. And of course, it's also because it connects the beauty and the health together. And you know that a beautiful skin is a healthy, rosy skin with a good metabolism in China and with the rosy tone. So yes, traditional Chinese medicine and traditional Chinese herbals are really an evident way also to be different from international competitors because they have the legitimacy, I don't know how you say, they have the power, it's in the DNA to promote the Chinese medicine. While if you are an international brand, it requires different ways to be able to be accepted as using the Chinese medicine. So yes, from competition point of view, it's also very interesting to look at what the Chinese brands are doing to promote their own, I would say, acceptability. So now it's Mr. Schufer who is going to talk about all these ingredients that are extracted and how they are used, which one are used, how they are used in the cosmetics, and which are maybe the next, the next one, sorry.
So, as Florence said, the TCM used in cosmetics is all about ingredients. So, cosmetic brand started to use, of course, begin with the most famous ingredient in Chinese traditional medicine. So here you can find that the list of really the most commonly used TCM ingredient by a cosmetic brand, mainly by a Chinese local brand, but also you can find some example also from international brands. So you have the famous ginseng, you have the famous Ganoderma, you have bird nest, and also tremella, and cordyceps, etc., etc.
Starts in 30 minutes. Please make your way to the formulation lab theater.
So let's start with the Ganoderma. So it's really the most famous ingredient in Chinese traditional medicine. It is considered as the magic mushroom of long life since really 5,000 years in China. So,
Formulation lab session by Nickel Chemicals starts in 30 minutes. Please make your way to the formulation lab theater.
So the mushroom, the Ganoderma, is very famous for its anti-aging effect and also its antioxidant power. So promoted, highlighted especially by three main brands in China, like the Yusei brand. They really developed a whole range based on Ganoderma for the youth preserving line. It's a line targeting really the early aging science, help young girls and young Chinese women to keep their skin as young as possible and as long time as possible. And we have also other brand like Business, the brand developed by Kose, the Japanese group, targeting only Chinese market with the new range excellence line, which is also anti-aging line. We have also Herbal, which is the leading TCM brand in mass market, distributed in all Watsons stores and also in all supermarkets, and very, very powerful in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in China. And we have also the sheet mask made by Ganoderma also. That's the case of Herbalist. Herbalist is the #1 premium TCM brand in China. Belongs to Shanghai Jiahua Group. And then we have ginseng. We call it the king of all herbs. So because it's the magic root that have really the magic anti-aging power, antioxidant, and also energizing power, really efficient to fight against the fatigue. So again, we can find a very interesting product from Meisu. Meisu, it's premium brand, belongs to the Jialam Group. And the brand image was renewed last year to really get a more premium brand with this natural TCM image. And their star product of it's the ginseng seed essence lotion, really a very concentrated beauty lotion enriched with the ginseng seed, a very beautiful product. And again, we have Yusai with the vitalized Ganoderma, again with the ginseng product to the anti-wrinkle line. And the ginseng is also used in hair care, especially promoted by Bawang. This is one of the leading hair care brand based on TCM, very famous in China, to promote its anti-hair loss shampoo and conditioner. And after we have the famous bird nest, it's the secret beauty of all the princess of imperial court in ancient China. It's also so every woman, every man, every Chinese people knows it, and we eat in our daily life the soup made of bird's nest to keep really a good health, and also to have a beautiful and white skin. So the bird nest, since several years, was very commonly used by cosmetic brand, and starting with Watson's. So the brand has developed a home line based on bird's nest, Nutri-Collagen, and whitening line, which is one of their best-selling skincare line in the whole China. And after we have also the MJ, the leading brand in sheet mask in China, they offer also some mask based on bird's nest ingredient for the nourishing and whitening effect. And we have also the Bioessence, which is a brand from Hong Kong that you can find in all Watsons in Hong Kong and also in some cities in China. And the rhodiola, of course, don't forget, it's very famous for its anti-UV and anti-radiation effect, very commonly used in whitening line for its anti-pigmentation and also antioxidant power. So the brand Herb launched several years ago a home line, a complete line of whitening with the Rhodia Fine whitening line, which is also one of their best-selling skincare line in the whole China. And we have other brands like Herbal and also Herbalist and Herbal. Herbal is also a skincare brand, belongs to Bawang Group. And for its firming ingredient too, effect too. And of course, we have the tremella. We call it in Chinese "ying'er." It's really, if we translate literally in English, that will be silver ear, because it's in the shape of an ear, but it's transparent, translucid and white. So silver ear is very famous also. It's one of, we eat very often a beauty soup made of tremella and lotus seed in our daily life. It's one of the most famous beauty soup in a Chinese food therapy. And of course, Yusei used it for his hydrating line, which is launched just 2 years ago. And the other local brand like Goji, they also have this tremella. Tremella line. Tremella is really very, very famous for its moisturizing effect and also the nourishing effect. To also fight against the wrinkles with its anti-aging power. And don't forget also the best-selling product from Naruko with the Naruko Narcissus Multi-Defense Night Repair Dew. It's a very popular beauty lotion, and also the sleeping mask made by also the Tremella. Naruko is a very popular brand, a Chinese skincare brand, but created by Niuer. Niuer is a beauty expert from Taiwan, and now he has become the most famous beauty expert in the whole China. So he appears in all magazines and all beauty TV shows, and he really have the leading opinion power in the whole beauty industry in China. And several years ago, he created his own brand in China, which is mainly distributed in online. And all his brands are very interesting because all his products represent really the most in trend, the main trend of the market in terms of concept, texture, etc., etc., and ingredient too, of course. And after we have white peony, which is very powerful for its anti-inflammation and anti-pigmentation power. And herbalists use this ingredient in its famous Taiji mask, detoxifying and nutrient clay mask. And also we have other brand from Korea, the history of Wu in its whitening essence. And also, again, we have Herbal, the whitening essence. So the white peony is really becoming one of the most popular ingredients of whitening care in China. And don't forget also the hair care ingredients. So these are the most two famous hair care ingredient in China. One is Polygonum multiforme, and the other one is black sesame. So the first one is very famous for its hair strengthening power and also to fight against the hair loss. And it's very, this is the ingredient, it's a kind of root, but in the shape of a human body. So if you look at on the Google image, you can find it's a very, sometimes it can appear a little scaring as image, but it's really a magic ingredient for the hair strengthening and hair care. And black sesame, of course, for its hair blackening effect and also nourishing effect to restore the black shine of the hair. So, of course, the main leading brand in China, like Bawang or like Softo, Suafute, used all the two ingredients in their hair care brand, hair care range for anti-loss or also blackening. And after all these ingredients, now the most popular one, we see it everywhere, is the famous cordyceps. Cordyceps is also the most precious ingredient in TCM, and it's kind of a mushroom parasitism that we can only find in very high and very far mountains, very, very precious. And if you go to China, in all traditional pharmacies, this is the ingredient that you can find, and the ingredient which is highlighted everywhere. You can find also in all kinds of forms. You can find it in powder, in drink, or in pills, everywhere, everywhere. So, of course, a cosmetic brand exploited this ingredient very well. So started also, with also Yusai. Yusai really used this, this ingredient. First, they launched a whole range rejuvenating cordyceps skin renewing line with many products, and lately they launched also a skin care facial oil enriched with cordyceps, and the newest one is the cordyceps personalized serum, which is very interesting because you have 3 serums personalized, and according to your skin needs or according to the effect you want on your skin, you can choose one of the serum among the three. So you have for the glow, you have the serum for the firmness, and also you have the serum for the smoothness of the skin. And of course, the famous one is also, the famous product is also the Herbalist Tai Chi Anti-Aging Revitalizing Essence, which is also encapsulated in two parts. You have one part, the anti-aging beauty lotion, and after the second step, you have an anti-aging oil in capsule, enriched with cordyceps and also ginseng. In mass market, we can find the newest line from Watson's, cordyceps by Watson's with the youth activating line. So you can see that cordyceps is really now everywhere in every brand, a local brand, I mean. And also TCM is not only used in skincare and hair care category, and we find more and more makeup products based on TCM ingredient or formulated with key TCM ingredient. So we have the Herbalist Nourishing CC Cream with the famous ginseng inside. You have the InnoHerb Brightening CC Cushion, which is enriched with essential oil extracted from 7 TCM herbs. And also, USA, they launched a whole range of makeup, from base makeup to point makeup, using the Ganoderma in their liquid foundation, in their blush, and also we can find also in lipstick. And in mass market brand, we have Meifuba. This is also a famous brand, mainly distributed in Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities in supermarket. They, 2 years ago, launched a base make range formulated with Ganoderma and also the cordyceps. So the TCM ingredients are extending in makeup ranges. And also you have all the product of the beauty supplement or health supplement based on TCM. Of course, we have the cordyceps. This is one of the most promoted brand we can find in China, the Jicao. They offer really the pills made by cordyceps with their new technology. And in cosmetic field, we can find that Sai also launched in combining their hydration line with Tremala. They launched also a beauty drink based on this ingredient, and then also with collagen. And it's also not only limited in Chinese brand or Asian brand, more and more Occidental brand have started to use TCM ingredients in their formula. So we can find the famous serum and eye cream from from Yves Saint Laurent, the Temps Majeur. They really highlighted the magic mushroom Ganoderma as their key ingredient of anti-aging. And also very interesting to look at Origins, this brand, because they also uses Ganoderma in their famous product of Mega Mushroom of Advanced Skin Relief Facial Serum and also the Beauty Lotion. Again, another ginseng also are very promoted in their energy boosting line. And very, very interesting, international brand or makeup brand also started to use the TCM ingredient in their makeup product. That is the newest launch in Chinese market with the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Foundation. And in this foundation, cordyceps again is used by Bobbi Brown to really highlight the skincare and anti-aging effect of the foundation to ensure really the safety and also the skincare effect of the base make product. So we've just only seen some of the most famous TCM ingredient used already by cosmetic brand. But as Florence said, in Chinese herbal medicine, how many herbs we have? We have more than 11,000 herbs. So we have really a rich bank of ingredients to discover, to rediscover, to exploit. So what will be the next ingredient or the next 8 ingredient we will maybe find from here several years? You have really many choices. You have all the ingredients that we can find in our daily recipe life. You have also all the other ingredients that we used in the TCM cocktail for healing and also health prevention effect. So this is just an example of all the ingredients, some ingredients that you can explore, but you have really behind you one of these 1,100 ingredients to use. So it's your job to discover one treasure for your brand, for your company, for the future.
So this was just a global panorama of how now, in a very modern, high-tech way, the traditional medicine is exploited. And it's not only for Asian markets, but it's really all over the world. So yes, TCM approaches are expanding really, really internationally. Not only because TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, is holistic, yes, we know that, but also I think it's also because of the preventive approach, which makes totally new field also to the cosmetic business, not only acting, but also preventing. And this is a very new approach in terms of beauty. And then regarding ingredients, there is still a lot and a very high potential to be developed. Of course, there is the rare ingredients of specific areas in China where to pick up, because we talk about the most famous one, but there is still some which are very rare, very well known by Chinese people, like being very difficult to find. Very precious, very few ones. So there is still rare ingredients to be discovered by all the brands. There is the big movement of the organic ingredients, because now you know that China is going to be the #1 actor for the organic business and the organic production. So not only you will have a herbal, TCM-oriented product, but you will have already, patented organic ingredients, which really going also to make the difference. Third, there is combination to be highlighted, because we very briefly went through it, but it's also a matter of combining one ingredient to another one that can really create a new beauty cocktails and give you some new beauty solution. Finally, there is always this powerful backup with science to be continued, and this has been the business of medical approach for the mushroom, that we know now that there is a lot of very high powerful mushrooms to cure the cancer. So again, there is this high-tech and biotechnology which is going to back up these traditional herbals and really give scientific proof of the efficacy that Chinese people just know by learning from one generation to another one. And the last one, which we haven't covered, because yet it has not been covered, but this is my strong belief, next will be the fragrance potential. Because if you go, we have organized on this side, there is a little discovery area called the China Country Focus Zone. Not only will you see ingredients, but you can see finished product from the market. Come and smell the product coming based on traditional Chinese medicine. They have very particular smells, like, the ginseng smells. And I do believe that from fragrance point of view, we also have really new notes that will come up, plus will new benefits additionally to the fragrance. So this is going to be, again, another word to be explored in the future world for the cosmetics business. So yes, as we said, be on the watch. Thank you very much for your attention.